Hi everyone, Alex here, continuing with our Revit from 0 to 100 multi-trade course. Today we're going to be dealing with gutter downspouts. I'm going to give you a quick overview on downspout elements. Then we're going to dig into the gutter family. We're going to modify it so that it matches very well with our very creative downspout family. So get ready, have your coffee, and see you in Revit. And before we even start, think about it, it makes sense. If you like this kind of content, then make sure you subscribe to the channel. You hit that bell so you get notifications. You don't miss any of our videos. Hi everyone, this is Alex with BIMitUp, where we help you with professional training and coaching in mechanical, electrical, plumbing, fire protection systems, and Autodesk platforms like Revit and AutoCAD MEP. Let's get started. Okay, some time ago now, we did some gutters in the front and the back of the house, and then we're going to do our downspouts, and we realized we didn't have the posts. But now we do have the posts, so now it's time to do our downspouts. So let's do a quick review of what we want as far as gutters and downspouts. So we have our gutter already, and what we're after is this downspout here. As far as our gutter, we had our gutter segment, which was one type of family. Then we created a different type of family for our right end cap, and then we used that cap also for our left end. Now, if we want to connect a downspout to this gutter, we're going to need a drop outlet, which is going to look similar to this. Then from there, we're going to have a downspout connector that typically will connect to an elbow. Those have different angles. A very common one is 75 degrees, but it depends on your situation. Then you're going to have a downspout extension, then another elbow, which is going to turn into your vertical downspout, and then it's going to terminate in another elbow. Again, something similar to this. And for this, you have a couple of options. You could use a pipe, a round pipe, or in my case, I think I'm going to use a duct, even though it's not specifically a duct. It is a PVC channel, but I can do a duct. You could use an oval duct, or you could use a rectangular duct. I think the rectangular duct is what's going to resemble the best. So let's give it a shot. Let's go back to Revit. And what I'm going to do is go back to my main wood floor plan. And I'm going to grab this section that I have here. I'm going to take it to the side. I'm going to reduce it a little bit. I don't need that much. I'm going to reduce the depth a little bit, and I'm going to move it. Actually, I'm going to align it to this post, to the center line of this post. Okay. So for that, I'll do AL. And I align to this. And I'm going to double click on my section. And then here's my gutter right here. And I want to come out of here, then turn with my elbow, and then drop against this post. Then once I get to the planter, boom, I drop my elbow. Okay. So let's see if we have a duct available, a ductwork family. We do, ducts. I'm going to go to rectangular duct. And if we click on our gutter, even though this is a 5x5, you can see that the bottom part is pretty narrow. So let's measure it. See, like even from the edge, that's only 2 inches. And the downspout that we want is probably going to be either 2x3 or 3x4. So I think I'm going to go with a 2x3. So let's go duct. I'm going to go rectangular duct and just drop it in here. To start the command, you could have also gone to system and then click here on duct, okay? All right, so let's set our size. My width's going to be 3 inches, and my height's gonna be 2 inches. Then I'm gonna start it here, and then I'm gonna turn 75 degrees. And I can see that I don't have an elbow loaded. Let's take a look. Let's go to type properties, routing preferences. And as you can see, I don't have any elbows loaded. I can come here to load family, and I go to duct, fittings. I'll go to rectangular, elbows, and I'm just going to click this radius one. Click OK, and now I'm going to set this. I'm going to use the short one for now. Just click OK and OK. And now let's try this one more time. I'll click here. But now you notice that this dimension here, from here to here, is being taken as the 3 inch. But what I want is this to be 2 inch. So instead of 3x2, this should be 2x3. Right? And now I'm going to align to the inside face of that, the inside of my duct, and then we'll modify this profile. So I'm just going to go vertically like that, and then I'm going to do the 75-degree angle here. And now I'm going to do TR from here to trim. And then I'm just going to grab this and nudge it up a little bit, just like that. And I'm going to align to my internal surface, my duct. And obviously this doesn't work. right? So let's study this a little bit. So we originally discussed that we could have used some kind of oval duct. In our case, we're using more of a rectangular duct to simulate our downspout. But what I want to show you is this size here in the actual gutter is a lot wider than what we're showing in Revit. For some reason, whoever created that family in Autodesk either didn't consider this or was using a weird family that's not similar to what we have. So the important thing is this dimension D. And for us, a 5-inch gutter, you know, this dimension here, we should have a D dimension, which is this depth here, of 3¼ inches. So let's go ahead and adjust that. For that, we need to dig a little bit deeper into the gutter family. If you go to the gutter family, you can see that the type that we're using is the bevel 5x5. So let's go to edit type. And you can see that this type, the bevel 5x5, is using a profile. And that profile is the gutter profile code 5x5. So let's go ahead and hunt that down. Let's see. So if we expand here under profiles, gutter profile code, here's our 5x5, right? So here's where we have our problem. So let's go ahead and go under gutter profile code and let's edit this profile. Okay. And right now we cannot see anything. So we have to go to VV, Visibility Graphics Overrides, go to Annotation Categories and turn on Dimensions. Let's turn on this Automatic Sketch Dimensions. Actually, let's turn on the reference planes as well. Let's click OK. Let me change my scale so I can read this a little bit better, maybe to this one. And here it is. So you see our depth is 5 inches, the whole thing from here to here. So that's fine. What's wrong is this D1 dimension. So the actual depth on a 5-inch, I want it to be 3¼ and for the 6-inch, 3 7/8. So in Revit, if I want this to be 3¼ then D1 has to be 1 3/4. So let's come here to our parameters. And then for the 5x5 type, D1 is going to be 1 3/4 inches. We click OK. And now since we're at it, let's also modify the 6-inch. So for the 6-inch, we want D1 to be 1 1/8. And you know, we could have modified all the other ones, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to modify those two. I'm going to load into project. But this will all depend on the drop outlet shape, which is a piece that you're going to buy anyway. But it seems like it's center with the gutter. So let's do that. You know, let's nudge it a little bit to the center. And then what do we have left? We have to extend our downspout. And then we have 75-degree angle again. And then what I'm going to do is delete this piece. And just have it terminate like that. And that's good enough for me. I think it looks really good. Let's take a look at our 3D view. That's great. We probably want to change our material of this duct. Probably one thing we would like to do is create a new duct system. So let's do that. Let me collapse all. Go to families. And here under duct systems, I'm going to create a new duct system. And right now, what do we have? Right now we have supply air. That's definitely not correct. Let's go ahead and duplicate it. And let's rename as gutter downspout. And let's see if we can change this. We go to type properties. Here's the material. So let's go click here. Let's see if we have PVC. There you go, clad white cementon. It's very similar to the one in the window, so let's use that. Go OK. Go OK. It didn't update because I'm in the wrong system. I'm still in supply air. So let's change that to gutter downspout. Beautiful. And you know what? Let's go the extra mile. Let's do an increaser here so that it mimics our drop outlet even better. So for that, I'm going to go back to Revit. I'm going to go to my section. And I'm going to drop this a little bit so that it gives me enough space, and then we can adjust later. So we have to go back to ducts, rectangular duct, default, type properties, edit routing preferences. And here it is, transition. We have none, so we have to load family. We have to get out of elbow to rectangular. Let's go to transition. And let's see, I guess I could use rectangular transition angle. Let's click OK. And then we set it here under transition. This looks like a 45-degree transition. Let's click OK. Let's click OK. So let's give it even a little bit more space just in case. And then what I'm going to do is shrink this. And then I'm going to right click, draw duct. And then instead of being 2 by 3, is gonna be, let's say 2 by 4. And take it all the way up. Now we go to our 3D view. Look at that, isn't that great? And now we can even adjust it in our section. We can grab all this and just bring it up. Just like that. And we can get rid of this piece right there. We can even take it up a little bit more, just like that. I can probably get rid of that little piece, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna take it up a tiny bit. I'm gonna zoom in, take it up a little tiny bit, and now let's go to our 3D view, and that's great. I'm gonna leave it at that, and that's our downspout. I'm not gonna do the one in the back because all this is gonna be demolished. In reality, there's 2 downspouts here, one here, and another one here, but I'm not gonna bother because all this is gonna be demolished. So we're gonna close here.